you. I'm doing this. So I'm in this tiger stance. That's the start. Right, that's why the hand stops at the shoulder. So when you're coming from here, you'll hook, turn, step, shift, and follow through. Single whip.
Oh yeah.
And when you do the single whip, kind of like short form, when you do it, you're here, bring the hand up and thumb out, and then yeah, all the single whips are they're not done from here.
Okay.
All this when you do a single, your hand's in front of your shoulder, turn your hand up, right. So it is in front of your shoulder, but it's this.
It's not on the shoulder.
Right, and then this is always all the single whips are 45. So if I'm punching, if you go really slow, you start stepping to me, just keep that, see that angle? Yeah. Now that's exactly what you're looking for. Because once you start to feel me slide, once you feel this slide, just turn your hand and aim for the target. So if that's my face, boom, that's where I go to. So when you do this, your elbow leads the way. Your elbow leads the way, right? Now just, and you'll go right, and the opponent will run right into it. So like a whip more, when you do it, if you do it from here, right? If you're coming in, even though your arm is that way, just feel the resistance.
Yeah.
It's not that I'm going any harder, but because you're so bent, you end up with the resistance, and you can't. It's hard for you to push me. So now, if you muscle through it, you can push me this way.
But I won't go past you.
Right, and then what happens is, if you push me that way, if you push to the side, now try to go and hit me. Well, with this hand. Say you were going to hit me with this hand still.
Oh, okay.
So anytime that you do that movement like a single whip,
Yeah.
if you do a single whip, if you do this and this, you make it 2 movements.
Yeah.
So that means
You can react in that.
yeah. So when you do this, I felt that. So when you come forward, I'm just going to feel it and come back.
Yeah.
I have the ability to react. When you do it the other way, and I touch you and you slide on top of me, I have no ability to react. So I'm going to hit you. And next thing I know, you're there, you're there, you're there. Oh, you're not there anymore. Boom! By the time I run right into your movement. So I don't like to use the word block, but we get used to using it. Almost every block is deflect. So if you look at every block, it doesn't always work out that way, but the more that you deflect people, the less that they feel you, the more that they run into your technique.
Okay.
And that's what you're doing. So short form, long form, if you're doing single whip, broadsword form, you see single whips anywhere, that's that elbow, and then come forward, and has that more straighter forward kind of whip-like motion that you get out of it.
Okay. I block first, and then do I
No.
come out?
High lotus. So, here. So your sword drops, high lotus, block, with the blade forward. So you're going to block my blade this way, not with the sharp edge. Right. So you want the sword to go this way, not, because then you're hitting with the part you want to cut with. So we're going to block, step, the hand comes out, fingers up, turn, step, the fingers drop, chop overhead.
Touch the knee.
Mm-hmm.
And this is flat, or is this angled?
Flat with just a slight angle this way. So again, if it's too flat, it's pushing in, but when you do this, see how it pushes slightly turned up, but it'll push right into pushes right into the belly. And then the edge of this edge of the sword, right, see this, that like knuckle right there in your wrist?
Yeah.
Lift your elbow a little bit. Right, now push. and it locks. So when you're doing this is going to lock under that knuckle. Your fingers will point to the ground. So when you push or press with that's all reinforced. That sword's not sliding up anywhere.
Yeah, and if I don't?
Right. If you don't,
Yeah.
right, it's going to push down. So if we're class sword or whatever, you know, and you have that pressure on there, it's going to collapse or it's going to slide. A lot of times people they do this.
Yeah.
So as soon as you start to have too much angle in this arm, this wants to do this if there's any pressure on it. So you want that to come up. So you push, right, that pushes right in. Now when you press out, then it's parallel.
These turns, are they in a,
Empty.
they're in empty? And I
You're-
cut?
Yep. And your hand will lift up. So if we go back, so we go back to this one, right? You're going to hook, and as you hook and cut to your empty, bring the sword to throat level or chest level. So it's going to slightly rise up. Then you're going to step, turn to the corner, continue, and push. Right, bring the sword. Right, bring the sword back. So kind of like long form, like the weaving in the clouds. Now that one's a low rooster.
Yeah, step out.
And up, and this one's a low rooster, and the sword parallel to the ground, and your hand covering your wrist. Come over this way. So we were here. Hand comes to the shoulder. It's block the leg. Step up, block down, and up.
Out, lock, press. Turn, and it's empty here. Neck level,
Shoulder, yep.
shoulder level.
Just like a brush to the knee. Step back. So if someone's going to attack your leg, it's block out, step, come up, I'll leave your hand up, right? And then the hand's going to drop down, and lift up, and then back. Shoulder level.
Now this time I step up, come across.
High tiger. Turn your left toe in. So when you come up, it's up, to the side, cut, and lift. In front of your left shoulder with your arm out. And then pull in, right, and then back out again.
Am I pressing right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it on here or on the fingers?
It's always going to be the base of the pinky, almost like the middle joint on the thumb. Right, so what happens is your fingers are clear of everything, but just like a press, like when you're doing this, you're centered up on the sword. So you're not relying on your fingers to hold the sword, and the sword's not so far into your palm that it's going to slide off either. So you're mid, right, and then to here, to the end.
Step back in. Another tiger.
Another high tiger, and then you put the sword back, right, into the left arm, and then you do the toe kick to the corner, so it's feet together.
Okay. This foot stays out.
Yes.
This one comes in.
You're going to lift, and just like all the other ones, it's going to be palm up,
Palm up.
lift, toe kick to the corner, step down and stand, right, and then you're going to sink, step, lift, and
It comes straight down, not from the ear?
No, it comes across.
Okay.
Almost like, let's go back to here. You're going to sink, step, take your right hand, drop it to waist level, and then punch across. Like, instead of punching downward like long form into the groin,